Okay, I'm trying to make sure that y'all guys can see this. So it looked like y'all can see this. So this is what I want to do. First of all, I'm hoping that everybody's enjoying this Sunday. I know that we have that Mayweather versus Logan Paul happening, so it's not going to be a lot of people really attending a lot of things until that happening. But what I wanted to do, because I believe that this is this Jessica Reed is a very delicate situation. Very delicate situation. You know, there's a lot of people in my comments that were saying, you know, based on my live yesterday, you failed her. And I was talking about, you know what I'm saying, the parents, and I was talking about some other things. And there was a couple people that disagreed with me and thought that, you know, that more empathy should have been given to the mom. So what I wanted to do was play a little bit of, again, shout out to Kwame Brown for shedding more light and giving more visibility to this situation. Kudos to him for that. But again, I felt like there were certain questions that us as the public, you know, us as citizens, us as people that want to support the situation, we need to have more understanding. And that's and Reggie, I hear you. I hear you. And I had mentioned, and what I did was, just to give a recap of what I said yesterday, was I felt like when I heard the mom speak, you know, and of course, as a father myself, no one wants, let me just get this out the way. Nobody wants to hear that their child has been taken advantage of. They don't want to hear that their child fell down and got a scrape, a scratch, a nick, nothing. And I totally understand. I get it. I've had siblings my siblings that have been taken advantage of. I've had my mother taken advantage of. I've had close friends. I've had soldiers. So I understand, especially being a sexual assault victim advocate in the military. Okay. I understand the trauma. I understand it. And I understand that we need to be supportive, but I also understand that we need to be realistic. And realistically, before the incident, during the incident, and after the incident, there were a couple failures. Now, it's easy. I'm going to tell you this, and you guys may not agree. It is easy to just blame the person who committed the act. If we don't understand the science behind what happened, and when I mean the science, that means the details. Did we as parents do everything that we should have done to prevent our child from being in harm's way? And I know that, and again, I get it. Nobody wants to hear anybody say they're letting the culprit off, that the person, the aggressor, the assault, the person that committed the act, nobody wants to say or give that person any type of leeway. And that is not happening over here. We're not going to do that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to look at the details. You understand what I'm saying? Because being a black man in the United States of America, I know that our children are growing up very fast. And someone said yesterday, it shouldn't matter what a woman wears, they should be respected. I totally agree. I totally agree. But let me ask you a question, right? If you're 15 years old and your thought process is, I want to look older, I want to appeal to older men, are you saying that the consequences of what happens to older women won't happen to you? That some type of way that won't affect you? Because I truly believe that conversation should have been had. I truly believe that young lady should have been groomed better. You see what I'm saying? I truly believe that. I truly believe that confirmation, affirmation, and validation starts at home. Ricardo, I see you. So I wanted to play, again, shout out to Kwame Brown for allowing people to use his content. I'm hoping that, you know what I'm saying, I can expound on the conversation, because I believe this needs to be had. This is not just a black community thing. This is a people thing. This is a citizen thing. This is a anyone who cares about children thing. So I'm hoping that we can have this conversation. I do want people to hear this. So if you can support what this message is about to be, I believe that everybody will be able to get something from this. I'm going to turn the camera around after I play. I'm gonna play about 5 minutes of this. Then I'm gonna play the actual live that Jessica Reed did herself after her mother and brother went on Kwame Brown's show to talk about the situation. Because my thought process was, yeah, cool, I'm hearing from the mom, cool, I'm hearing from the brother, but I want to hear from Jessica herself, because we are here to support Jessica. We want to support Jessica, but the thought process is we need to see her. We need to see her. So I'm gonna play some of this right now. I'm gonna play about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. All right. For those who haven't seen it, for those who have, maybe getting a second look at it will give you a different perspective. If I hear anything of value, then I'll pause it and I'll give my commentary. Don't mind the toys down there. That's my little aunt. That's like my little army of stuffed animals that my daughter's gonna play with here in just a bit.
Talk about Jessica and talk about her story and the truth. So I want to start first with the DNA.
Hold on 1 second, ma'am. They're saying this.
Just to give y'all a little backdrop, her brother is on the show as well. He just fell off. I guess he was having technical difficulties. So he's gonna come back. Somebody said I'm in baby girl room. No, my daughter. Listen, my daughter takes over the living room. I'm in the living room actually. I'm not in baby girl room. Ricky, what's going on? If you guys are just tuning in, we're watching. I don't know if you guys can read it on the screen. It looks kind of small on there, but it's the live with Jessica Reed's family, Kwame Brown's interview with them in regards to the allegations against Charlemagne the God. So I wanted to give more commentary on it. My video yesterday got a lot of feedback, and I think that there were some people who were saying, I think people kind of took it the wrong way. It was just a few people, but I think that those few people matter. So I want to come back and readdress it because it's fair to them, because they say, hey, I was a victim. Somebody took advantage of me. And then I'm gonna be honest with you, with some people who said I was a victim, and they did, and their mothers and their parents did the same thing that Jessica Reed mom did, so they understand. And then there was some people that was upset because they felt that the parents missed the mark on getting justice. So I just want you guys to hear a couple, about 5-10 minutes of this, and then we're going to go into the Jessica Reed commentary, who did a live yesterday after her mom went on Kwame's show. Let's check it out.
Can you hear me? They're saying it's a sound issue. I don't know if it was your son's audio, because we hear you clear now. I think it might have been your son's audio. So go ahead and continue, because I think. Yeah, okay. Well, your sound is good now, so just go ahead and continue, and when we come back in, I think he's going to fix his sound. So go ahead. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead and
continue. Okay. I want to start first with the DNA. I've heard a lot about people talking about the DNA had proved him innocent. DNA did not prove Charlemagne innocent. And I want to state some facts so that can go, because that's all I hear, all over the place. Well, he's innocent. DNA proved him innocent. No, he is not innocent. And the DNA did not prove him innocent. There was no analysis performed. The terror couldn't. And I'm going to a little bit and understand. I have a document here from South Carolina, Law Enforcement Division, Forensic Services, Laboratory Report. This is the report that was done on my daughter.
Salute to everybody in the building. 777, I see you.
She took a rape kit, the sexual. She was given that.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
It states here that blood, there was no analysis performed. Saliva, no analysis performed. On him,
I ride solo. Good morning.
Leonard Larry McCalvey, blood, no analysis performed. Saliva, no analysis.
I really think I should move this closer to. Y'all think I should move it up? Y'all want me to move this thing closer? Let me move this thing closer for you guys. I'm actually in the living room or whatever case be. Let me move my ottoman out the way. I'm gonna move this thing closer for you guys so that way you can see it. Okay? Hold on just 1 second. If we're gonna do this, let's do this right. Let me see if this works. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a little bit better. Good morning, good morning. All right. Let's get back into this thing. Here we go.
There were no detailed examination of anything complex in order to understand its nature or to determine its essential features. There was no study. There was no study on this. So that's why it's inconclusive. Because it was not leading to a firm conclusion, not ending doubt or dispute. So this is why the DNA did not prove his innocence. And I have the document.
I appreciate that, 777. Thanks, man.
It's inconclusive.
I just want you guys to be able to see it.
No analysis performed on any of the tests that were given. None of them.
Can you put that closer to the screen so people can see it a little better?
Obviously, Kwame
wants center it in the camera.
Kwame want people to be able to see it too.
Sure.
I don't know how close y'all can really see that.
And if they want the document, they'll be able to get it. They can. I'll give the email before we leave, and they.
And again, this is for educational purposes, awareness purposes. Right now, Jessica Reed's mom, she is debunking the fact that DNA has cleared Charlamagne the God of any wrongdoing. She's saying that those tests were never ran. Now, this is where I'm talking about the details. This is where I'm talking about, yes, we have empathy. Yes, we have sympathy. But this is about the details. My question to you guys, right, is as a parent, would you not push for all of the tests that need to be done to be done? I want you guys to think about that. We're here to support, we're here to push the message out. But see, I want to make sure that if your child, or if let's say our children are in this predicament, are we not going to, and we're not even talking about court right now. We're not talking about court. We're talking about people in a lab somewhere that are taking the rape kit and processing it to the fullest extent. I want you guys to think about that. And that's why when I talked about, I feel like the mom should have did a better job. These are the details that I see as someone that was a sexual assault correspondent for the U.S. Army. This is what I see. Why not have those people do the full test? Why not ask, what are the tests that's supposed to be done? Because a lot of us, Evan Show, what's going on, brother? A lot of us don't know they don't know. You don't know what a rape kit is. You don't know that after you're sexually assaulted, you're not supposed to wash up. You're not supposed to wash up because you could have the DNA from, or the demon, or the demon, the saliva, or the semen, or the hair follicles. So the clothing, there's so much evidence on you from the actual assault of what happened. They don't want you to wash up. You go straight to the hospital. So a lot of us don't know that. So that's why it's important for us to share this narrative and to educate other parents to prevent. Yeah, listen to what I'm saying. To prevent this from happening. Not when it happens, because I don't want it to happen. To prevent this from happening. But just in case it happens, we know what to do. Because a lot of people don't know what to do. So let's continue this. But this is her trying to debunk or debunking the fact that Charlemagne the God was ever cleared of wrongdoing because there was a DNA test. There was a rape test done. And he was cleared. So he was never cleared based on the mother's, I don't want to say testimony, but based on her verbiage.
Documents, I'll be more than glad to do them.
Oh, okay, I'll put that in the description box.
Again, shout out to Kwame Brown for allowing us to use his his live. Also,
this is from the state of South Carolina, County of Berkeley. South Carolina versus Leonard L. McCaldy. And he was ordered.
I appreciate that, 777. Thanks, bro.
Yes. This is the blood test. So it was very difficult for me to go over all this. I mean, it was very difficult for me to even go over the videos.
I believe that.
The DJ
I believe that.
Academic videos and all that stuff.
I believe that.
But,
I believe that.
I had to.
Mm-hmm.
I had to listen to it because I want to put the truth out there.
There you go.
Because there's so many lies. And even Charlemagne, I mean, he is a liar.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has to be difficult to watch Charlemagne the God if he, raped Jessica, Reed. I'm gonna say allegedly, but it is what it is. But it has to be difficult to watch this man on TV or hear him on the radio or hear anybody bring up, because it's such a unique name, to bring up this man and that he took advantage of your young daughter, your teenager. It has to be heart-throbbing. It has to be a level of frustration on a daily basis. And everybody that's around Jessica, her parents, just the family, has to be, it has to be, gut-wrenching to have to say we did not get the justice that is due. Mike from Boston, he said, I'm about to piss somebody off. Man, I don't know, man. Give me a second. Give me a second, bro. Give me a second. Let me let this thing play.
Say it. He's a liar. It's not in him. So he had to take blood, yes. But on the DJ Academic, he says...
All right, 777.
He had to take hair follicles and all that stuff. Well, I challenge that. Where is the documents? Where's the statements that you had to take all those tests? Because on my documentation,
God bless,
does not state anything in regards to you taking.
Mike says Charlemagne is guilty.
Anything. You took
wrong
blood.
Is wrong. That was wrong.
You gave blood. That's it. And there was no analysis performed on that blood. So how does the DNA prove you innocent? Lying. Now I'm going to really tell everyone the reason.
Can I say something to you guys? Let me say something to you guys. As we share this Jessica Reed narrative and we try to get the story out there, can I say something sincerely to you all? You know why a lot of times that we, and I say we, okay, and then I'm not referring to anybody in specifically. I'm just saying we as people. You know, a lot of times why we get railroaded in courts because we don't have money for good lawyers. We don't have money for good lawyers. We don't have money to get the justice or get the defense that we need. Or in this case, get the prosecution that we need. And to me, right now, this showcases a lack of resources. How many people believe that? How many people believe that this showcases a lack of resources? I'm not blaming the mom. I'm not blaming the dad. I'm not blaming Kwame. I'm not blaming black people, white people. But this showcases a lack of resources. Because if we had resources, we could have hired a great lawyer. We could have hired a great detective, or private investigator. So that way we can get the information that we need to get. And I just believe that Jessica Reed, that's why I said before, during, and after, I believe that Jessica Reed was failed. So I'm hoping by doing it this way and explaining it this way, people can have a certain level of understanding why I said I believe that Jessica Reed was failed by a lot of people. Because if mom would have had the resources, if the family would have had the resources, then I don't believe there would have been any such thing as, well, they only took blood from him. No, we taking all types of samples from you. How many people think about that? If you had the resources, how many times does something come up and you wish you had that $5,000 or $10,000 sitting on the side so you can get a retainer for a lawyer? I want you guys to think about the average American citizen. They don't have that type of money. So they're at the mercy of the court, no matter whether they're on the defense or on the prosecution side. Jessica Reed was at the mercy of the court, ladies and gentlemen. The mercy of the court. I'm going to let this thing play out. I'm hoping that you guys are understanding where I'm coming from. Again, we're not attacking Jessica Reed. We're not attacking the mom. We're not attacking anyone. We're breaking this thing down because I believe that there are more details that is important for people to understand. Let's go.
He was able to take a plea to the lesser crime. It had nothing to do with the DNA because the DNA is inconclusive. There was no analysis performed. He did not take the...
This is the reason why I'm doing this live right here. What Good TV says, no resources. It was the prosecutor's responsibility to educate the parents. And we are so quick to shame people. You're providing how helpless she was against the system, man. Sad to watch, but informative. Nate from South Africa. Okay, so check this out. This is why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for the people like What's Good TV. We're not shaming the victim. We're not blaming anyone. What I'm saying is that Jessica Reed fell victim to the courts. Not only Charlamagne the God and whatever other assailants that did whatever they did. And I'm showcasing that because we don't have the money that we need. Prosecutors are given. They are assigned. Defense attorneys. Okay, this is your defense attorney. It is what it is. That don't mean you selected them. I want you guys to understand something. If you're saying I'm going after someone who has some type of celebrity status or some status in general, some clout in general, right? My thought process would be if you had the money, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, if you had the money, you can get a better defense or you probably could get the outcome and information that you need. I want you. It says they're attacking that girl still now. Well, again, I don't want to see. This is what I don't want to do. I want to keep us on topic. I totally get that people that support Charlamagne the God is calling this girl X, Y, and Z. I get it. That's not the. Let's stay on topic, okay, y'all? Because I want people to get something from this. And what I want you to get is maybe we should have money on the side for a rainy day, just in case we actually need a lawyer, just in case our children actually need a defense. because you never know when they could be somewhere at the wrong time. I get what you're saying. What's good, TV? I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying that this is an opportunity for us to think a little bit deeper and to worry about the details. Jessica Reed unfortunately went through a traumatic experience, and unless you were the person in her shoes, you won't understand how she felt, what she was thinking, how she feels now, that's why it's important to hear from her and not assume she's okay or not assume that she's okay because time has passed. And that's what we don't want to do. We don't want to assume anything. What we want to do is look at the details that are being presented. Right now, the mother is presenting to me, in my eyes, in my opinion, that Jessica Reed did not have the best prosecution for the case, or let's just say the best lawyer for the case to give her the information that she needs. Let's talk about it. Here we go.
Couldn't be given the higher charge because the victim was uncooperative. My daughter, 15 years old, was traumatized after that incident. She was traumatized. I don't think I can explain to you the severity of this. I don't think I can explain the pain that she went through and that her family went through on June 8th, 2001. So that's why he's still here out and not in jail or under the jail, because I did not let her testify.
That's a good question, Reggie. That's a good question. I don't know.
Because when I went in that emergency room and saw my daughter uncontrollably shaking, when I saw her.
Somebody just made a great point in the comments. I'm trying to not mess this live up, but I'm trying to read the comments too. What's Good TV says, what Black American goes into the court as a victimizer or a victim has a good representation, if not for the money. I agree. But wait, Bill Cosby had the money. The issue with Bill Cosby, the issue with R. Kelly is that they had 3 very important letters after them. You ever heard of the Alphabet Boys? They had people that were trained to find certain things, get certain witnesses, and provide certain protections. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. What's Good said, LOL. Hey, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. My thought process is that you have people that go after people. You have people that were able to get the outcome that they wanted. Jessica Reed's mom didn't have the people on her side that she needed to get the outcome that she wanted. So I'm curious to hear, who she had during that time frame to actually give her the support she needed to carry on. Let's rock out. Let's keep going.
Hysterical, out of her mind, traumatized by what just happened to her. I could not let her testify.
I hear you. It's hard to listen to. I hear you.
I didn't want her to repeat that pain and suffering, which I knew she would if she had gone on that stand. Cross-examine jurors or whatever. And I didn't want that for her. So I made the decision not to let her testify at that time.
Okay. We've just heard Jessica Reed's mom say why she felt the need to not let her daughter testify. I want to ask you guys something, okay? Do you feel that was a mistake? Do you feel that was a mistake? While you guys are answering that, I'm going to go to Jessica Reed's let's see here if I can find it. I think this is it right here. I got Michi X on there. Michi said some things that I thought were relevant too. So I'm gonna play Michi's X. But this is what I want to hear right here.
Good morning. How you got?
Oh my God, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. But shout out to that commentator. I don't want to hear that. I want you guys to hear. I believe. So here's the thing. I totally agree if anybody says that was the wrong thing to do because she should have saw it through. And sometimes, you know what's so crazy? I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes the victim is stronger than the people that's supporting the victim. How many people believe that? I noticed that when I was helping sexual assault victims inside of the military, that the person that was assaulted, the person that was the victim, is stronger than the people that was supporting them. Somebody said maybe the mother didn't want to be exposed. Uh-oh. Now you're providing some deep thought. But this is the live that Jessica Reed did herself. I want you guys, if you guys didn't see it, I want you guys to check it out. After she talks, I'm going to turn the camera around on me, and then I'm gonna get into the conversation. What's good? Say exposed for making a mistake. We're gonna get into all that. Let's share this conversation, get some people up in here, so that way we can get this story out. Let me see. Hopefully this is it. Let me see.
5'4". You know, he was very short, petite little guy.
I'm giving a shout out to, what is this? Gossip Girl XOXO. She said some things last night that I kind of didn't agree with. She put a lot of energy on, again, shout out to her, but I just felt like she put a lot of energy on young females being taken advantage of. And to me, she kind of, and the only reason she put emphasis on young boys being taken advantage of was because I was kind of in the comments like, you know, this happens to children. You know, this conversation should be about stopping children from being taken advantage of. And I just felt like it was so like, it was almost like men are not doing enough to protect young women, but it's not, grown-ups are not doing enough to protect young children. I feel like for some reason, when we start talking about young boys, we expect them to fend for themselves for some reason. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I have some friends who have come out and said that, you know, as a young man, I was sexually assaulted. I was, you know what I'm saying, molested, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I believe that whole Me Too movement, I was just thinking, matter of fact, I had this conversation with someone, and I want to share this guy with you guys. I had a conversation with this young lady, about the Me Too movement. And she said that this is what she says. She said, if black men want a movement, then they need to start one themselves. I want to ask you guys something. Those of you guys that have sons and daughters, can you imagine only worrying about your daughters and allowing your sons to fend for themselves? Can you imagine that? Because I never seen a Me Too for young boys. I'm just saying, I never seen a Me Too for young boys. And can you imagine people sitting around a table and totally disregarding the fact that there are young boys out there getting molested and sexually assaulted every day? I believe children need to be protected. I believe adults have the responsibility of protecting said children. And I believe that when you make the conversation one-sided, you now start to create this narrative that your daughters are more important than your sons, when I believe that they are equal. I believe that they are equal. So if I'm a young boy and I just happen to stumble, I'm not talking about like 5 years old, but if I'm on the internet, which we know that these young teenagers are on the internet, and they stumble across a Gossip Girl's channel and she's talking about how important it is to protect daughters and never mentions how important it is to protect young boys, I probably would feel a certain type of way, like I'm not important. We have to make sure that when we have messages, especially for our communities, for social media, just to broadcast, that we are giving a balanced message, because we don't know who's listening. I believe children need to be protected. And I believe that men and women, adults, have that responsibility. And if we fail to do so, then we need to be held liable and accountable. Let me play this for y'all.
And she just thought that Charlemagne was the same age as her daughter, you know? So there was a time where Charlemagne was having a party, and they are saying that this was his birthday, I believe. And he just needed Jessica to be.
Just so that way you guys know, the lady in the picture with Charlemagne the God is his wife. His wife is named Jessica. Jessica Reed is the female in the hoodie in the red on the left. So I'm going to let her finish giving her commentary, her spiel. Again, this is being used for fair use educational purposes, and also to spread awareness to not only adolescents, but also, you know, adults, you know. So let's continue this conversation.
You know? And Jessica at first was like, you know what? Nah, she didn't want to go. He kept on egging her on, please, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. You're my little sister, you know. I need you there for support. So she asked her mom. Her mom was kind of unsure about the situation, you know. And she ended up giving in, and she went to that party. Yeah. And why did Charlemagne need this girl there? I don't know. I'm thinking it was for a sacrifice. It seemed like he was.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. This is why I can't listen to everybody talk, man. This lady said he needed her there for a sacrifice. She said, I don't know. I think he needed her there for a sacrifice. I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna let it play. Again, shout out to the commentator, the content creator. Yeah, you know, to each their own. To each their own.
Yeah. Seemed like he had plans for this girl. She didn't even see it. She didn't see it coming. And they put some stuff in her drink, got her drunk. At 15. It's like, why do you want a 15-year-old to be drinking that drink? She's innocent. You're 22. Why would you even want to be around 15-year-olds? But
Lawrence in the building, I see you.
He was a good guy, and he was looking out for her. He was being a big brother. I guess helping out in the community. You know what I'm saying? And they say that it was two other guys.
Let me do this real quick. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I appreciate everybody hitting that like button, sharing this message. That says a lot about your character. It says that you really value this story. You want to see it through, and you want to get the justice that Jessica Reed deserves. I appreciate you guys for leaving feedback, whether I agree or disagree. The fact of the matter is, the tough part about the conversation is us being able to sit down and be patient enough and listen and find out the details. So I respect you guys. Salute, salute, salute.
They took her up to the room. And they did some very unthinkable things to this young girl. They said that she couldn't walk afterwards. She was going crazy. And she went to the hospital. Yeah. And I'm just gonna play it, okay? Check this out. Here we go.
I didn't hear too much about the other young men, the other two men that were there, allegedly there. Like, nobody's brought that to
But my name is Jessica, and when I was 15 years old, I met Charlemagne the God at a radio station. I'm gonna try to keep it as brief as I can. I met Charlemagne at a radio station. We became friends. It was platonic. It was nothing but platonic. It was just a friendship. We were close, or so I thought, and he would call me his little sister. He invited me to a birthday party, his birthday party. And yeah, we're fine, thank you. The night of the birthday party, I was by Charlemagne, drunk by Charlemaine, and assaulted by two of his friends, which to this day, I don't even know who those guys were. If I saw them in the street, I probably wouldn't be able to recognize him. I never saw those guys prior to that day ever in my life.
Beautiful young lady.
But,
Beautiful young lady.
Long story short, after everything happened, it was done, charges were filed.
I'm sorry. Listen, I am streaming another content creator's video. Her Cash App is down there if you guys want to support that. But I don't want you guys to send money to that Cash App thinking that your Cash App is me. I'm not requiring any type of money for this. I just really want to have this conversation because I believe it's important and the story needs to get out there. So that's why I'm doing this, okay? Fair use, though. Fair use.
Because my mother felt like I was too young to testify in court, she actually decided not to let me testify and instead moved to a whole other state. And he basically was able to get away with the charge, and he was charged only for sexual conduct. What was the other charge?
The drug
delinquency or
giving a minor.
Yeah, giving a minor alcohol. I don't know the exact term for it, but he was charged with giving me the drinks.
Which he admitted to.
Yeah.
That's a good question, Reggie. I don't know.
And so without me testifying in my testimony, it was basically nothing they could do. They couldn't tie any charges to him except for giving me the alcohol, and that was that. And that was it. And he was able to get away with 15-year-old.
What alerted you that he was talking about you?
It was a interview he did with DJ Academics that I stumbled upon. I don't even know how I found that interview, but I was watching it one night, and in the interview, he basically made it seem like I was some groupie chick who was just getting ran through by all of his friends, and that was definitely not the case. So I felt like I had to come out and tell my side of the story because he told his, which was bullshit, and I wanted people to know the truth, and I wanted people to know who I was.
All right, that was Jessica.
Okay, let's get into this conversation, y'all. Let me see if I can make the adjustments here. Give me 1 second. Make these adjustments. 1 second. Okay. Hold on for 1 second. Gotta make some adjustments here. Y'all, listen. Don't tell me this ain't professional. Don't say it. Okay? All right. First of all, I appreciate everybody being in the chat room. I know that this situation can be a little touchy-feely, especially for people who went through this type of situation, that are currently going through this type of situation, that know somebody who went through this type of situation. So I totally get it. Hold on 1 minute. I got to adjust something else. You had a chance to adjust it. Okay, we good. We straight. Okay. So, again, I had this conversation yesterday, and a lot of people, again, they agree with me. It was some people in the comment section that was like, you need to be more empathetic towards the mom. Of course, we know that the father is dead. I don't know how he died or whatever. Here's my concern. My concern for the situation was I applied a generalistic narrative to Jessica Reed's case. And what I said was we as parents need to do a better job at giving our children the affirmation and validation and encouragement they need at home. So that way they're not looking for a father figure out in the street or a motherly figure out in the street. And I said, whatever we fail to do, somebody else will do, whether it's a gang member, whether it's the court system, whether it's a policeman, whether it's a pedophile, somebody else will take up the narrative. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever we fail to do. And a lot of people were saying, well, how do you know? Because I also mentioned about people trying to raise their children like they're guest appearing on Love and Hip Hop. You know, they're trying to be friends with their children, trying to be cool and down and give their children all the materialistic things that they can give them to make them seem like the cool parent. And sometimes when you do that, you set your children up for failure because they believe that. See, here's the thing. It was cool when your daughter was twerking at 12 years old. It was cool. It was cute. But then what it was is that what you allowed caught the attention of some knucklehead. And the knucklehead then played this role like, oh, I want her to be my little sister. You know, I want to come around. Now that's one scenario. Another scenario is allowing a lot of people around your kids. I hope you are not talking about this mother. No. What I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. A lot of our children find themselves in predicaments because we fail as parents. We fail as parents. I'm just saying. A man says, dude, young girls been doing this for years. Has nothing to do with parenting at home. Teenage pressure. These are older guys. The older guys are the one to blame, not the parenting. Shaking my head. Okay, continue to shake your head. Okay, continue to shake your head. What we need to understand is what we are not doing at home, someone will do elsewhere. If you do not validate your children, somebody will validate your children. And it may not be the type of validation that you want for your child. Now, if we're saying that we don't know parents that spend all week in a club or every weekend in the club and their children are left to fend for themselves. Hey, we talk about single parents all the time. We talk about single households all the time. So here's the thought process. If you're working all the time, your child is left to do what by themselves? I want the people that's shaking their head to come on back. What are they learning? What are they learning? Come on back. What are they learning? What's the thought process? Don't get quiet now. Let the comments come on back in. See, the problem is that we do a great job at only focusing on one thing. Jessica Reed. Nothing else matters. None of the other details matter. I want to know what was being said to Jessica Reed for her not to see, hey, I'm in a party with a whole lot of adults. Maybe I shouldn't be here. So yeah, I want to know the conversation that's being had before, during, and after. Now, a lot of people, we're so one-track mind and we're so emotional about certain things. Like, let me tell you, this is the type of situation. Type of situation is when you have a friend, right, that calls you and say, they trying to jump me. You get there and your immediate action is to respond. Y'all stop me if I'm lying. Your immediate action is to defend, is to protect, right? But you don't find out that the person that called you and say that they jumped you actually was the person that controlled the situation. They started the situation. What happened before? I don't want my 15-year-old to feel comfortable in a room full of men at a party, whether it's a day party, a night party, or whatever case may be. I don't want my 15-year-old to feel comfortable drinking a substance that she don't know what's in it. You see what I'm saying? You notice that I don't know if you guys saw the whole interview, but I invite you guys to see the whole interview. You notice that there was nothing said about, I talked to Jessica about this. I told her, when you go to parties, just don't leave your drink anywhere. Just don't trust anybody. I want you guys to hear the psychology. If you don't talk to her, it's going to be easy to manipulate her, right or wrong. And this goes for men or women. This goes for young ladies or young men. And this is the whole purpose of spreading this message and letting people hear, bro, talk to your kids. Don't allow your children to be taken advantage of. Here's the thing. Before they put the date rape drug inside the drink, you're now assessing a situation saying, I'm a young person here with adult males. Here's the thing. Do I hold the males responsible for what they did? You goddamn right. Do I blame Jessica for what happened to her? You goddamn right. I do not blame her. Let's make that clear. Because some people are getting the comments like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? My thought process is that I wish that she had more validation. I wish that she had more confirmation at home in regards and more self-awareness. That's like not telling your children, don't go to that side of town at night. And they find out after going to that side of town at night, crazy shit happens. If you know something, then you need to make sure that your children know something. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't talk to them, you leave them to the wolves. But let's get off of that. Let's get to the whole trial situation with Charlamagne the God. That's why I just played it, because I wanted to put the facts inside the content with the conversation. This is the conversation part. This is my thought process. And I said earlier, sometimes the person that is the victim of a situation is the strongest person in the situation. The mom ain't strong, the dad ain't strong, the brother ain't strong. The person that was victimized is the strongest. I've seen this a lot. The person that was traumatized or the assault happened to has to be strong for everybody else, because everybody else losing their mind. I wanted you guys to see Jessica's response when she said that instead of pressing charges or allowing me to testify, my mom decided to move to another state. I want you guys to think about this. You think her mom had enough money to move to another state? Just throwing it out there. I'm just asking a question. Do you think her mom had enough money on her own to move to another state? Because my thought process is, if you have enough money to move to another state, don't you have enough money to get a better lawyer? To get justice? Now, we talk about Charlamagne the God having all of these connections, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You don't think that somebody could have said, look, if she doesn't testify, we're going to give you X, Y, and Z. I want you guys to think about all the people that have died in the last 2 years, and these payoffs that didn't happen. Now I want you to take Jessica Reed's situation. 15 years old, really don't have a lot of say so. The situation didn't happen, and now the only adult that I'm seeing that's actually around is her mom. I want you guys to answer me something, or to listen to what I have to say on this. When she goes back and she says that, I should have let her testify, but she was traumatized. I want to ask you guys something. If Jessica is going to relive this situation every day, listen to me. If she has to relive this situation every day and hear about Charlamagne the God, hear about Donkey of the Day, hear about the Breakfast Club, hear about Angela Yee and DJ Envy, hear about the whole situation. Let me ask you something. 2 years of hearing about a man and getting no justice, or 1 week to 30 days to go through a trial to get justice. I'm just saying, it seems like to me, Jessica Reed was stronger than her mother. Now you're probably thinking like, okay, well, look, nobody wants to put their child continuously through the trauma, continuously through the hardship. Well, your daughter now grows up feeling like you didn't fight for me. You didn't fight for me. Now I'm not blaming you for me getting taken advantage of, but when you had the opportunity to fight for me, you didn't fight for me. How many people think that? And whether it was a father, or whether it was a mother, or whether it was the parents themselves, my thought process is that I'm not going to allow you to get away with what you've done to my child. And a lot of people, again, they don't have $5,000, $10,000 sitting on the side just to uproot and move to another state. Again, I played the information for you guys coming out of Jessica's mouth. We moved to another state. How many of you guys right now have enough money to move to another state? Let me break this down for you. Break it down for you. Get a new job. Okay. Get a house or apartment. Pay the first month rent. Pay the deposit, the travel expenses. I want you guys to really think about, where did you get this money all of a sudden to do this? To up and leave. I want you guys to look at the details, and I want you to look at Jessica's face. Rewind this. Look at Jessica's face when she says, my mama decided, instead of me testifying, because she didn't want to traumatize me, to move to another state. Look at her facial expressions. I don't think that Jessica thinks her not testifying was the right thing. I don't. Because it's not like Jessica would have had to repeatedly get on the stand. It would have been a one shot, one deal. Tell us what happened. But see, that's why I said there's a lack of information. There's a lack of knowledge. There's a certain level of ignorance to how the court proceedings are supposed to work. Because again, if you have a good lawyer, the lawyer is saying, it's this simple. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to require. These are the tests we're going to require. This is the DNA we're going to request, or whatever the case may be. But you grab your daughter and relocate to another state. And nobody's thinking, well, where did she get the money from? Where did the money come from out the blue? What type of lawyer did she have? Because she's holding up paperwork saying, well, they never tested him for X, Y, and Z. Why not? What? I want you guys to really hear me. Hear me out. Just hear me out. How does testing Charlemagne the God for the things that need to be tested for traumatize your daughter further? Anybody? For some reason, I ain't seeing it. Okay, hold on. Don't get mad at the mom. I'm not mad at the mom. Do you know that her mother didn't have the money? Do you know that? I'm not. I don't know. I'm asking you. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Thank you, Matt Ricks. He's asking a question. Why are you so mad about that? See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The tough conversation, having to be patient, having to provide feedback, send and receive messages. This is why I'm saying it is difficult for us as people to handle small things. This is why it was so easy to cancel R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, because it was more than just black people talking about it. I'm sorry. It was more than just black people talking about it. Because I want to ask all the people that's going like crazy in the comments and saying all of the off the wall crazy stuff or whatever. How many petitions did you sign to get Charlemagne the God off the Breakfast Club? How many times did you call a radio station to get him removed? How many letters did you write? Hold on, let me look at the comments. Let me look at the comments. Since Kwame Brown's platform is huge, right? And he has the voice of a lot of people. That aired yesterday. That aired yesterday. How long does it take to start a petition to get Charlemagne the God off the Breakfast Club? And then how long does it take? Since we in uproar. Since we in uproar. Now somebody said, how do you know how much money her mother has? I don't know. But I do know that she didn't get the best lawyer she could, because if she did get the best lawyer she could, she wouldn't be holding up documentation to you and I right now saying he was never tested for X, Y, and Z. The bullet or the ballot. Just saying. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's see. It says, understanding you are not making much sense. That this was in the 90s, not 2021. She did what she had to do for her child. What was whether so he okay, I don't okay, Jesus Christ. It's called critical thinking. Exactly. It's called critical thinking. Okay, somebody said this was in the 90s. Okay. Let me ask you guys a question, because maybe it's just me. Did saving money just happen? Did having retainer money for lawyers is that something that just happened in 2021? Did that just happen? I'm not talking about I said nothing about the internet. I said nothing about the internet, nothing about social media, because you can start. Okay. So we're saying in order to start a petition to get people in your neighborhood, the people at your church, the people in the school, the friends and families of Jessica Reed, you're saying that couldn't have happened in the 90s. That couldn't have happened. See, now I'm about to piss you off. Now I'm about to piss you off because you ain't using your head. You see how people try to debunk what you're saying, but don't sit back to say, well, damn, let me listen to the message. That is the problem. Attack the messenger, but don't listen to the message. We're saying that the actions that could have been taken in the 90s, the action that could be taken now is different. It was different in the 90s. What was different? What was different? Of course, it's easier to get a petition signed when you got access to thousands and thousands of people. But my whole thing about it is, what community did she live in? Can anybody say what community that Jessica Reed lived in? Come on now. I want to see if y'all know where she lived at. Where did Jessica Reed live at when this happened? Orville says, brother, your message is wrong. Stop it. You sound like you're taking sides. Whoa. Whoa. Whose side am I taking? Is this for the defense of Charlemagne the God? Is this saying that what he did was right? See, this is the problem. The problem is when you don't have a message that is filled with hate and pointing the finger directly at one person. It is easy to sit here, right? It is easy to sit here and say, Charlemagne, you F, it's easy to do that. But it's difficult to say that any responsibility fell anywhere else. You are asking vague questions. We need more info. Are we not breaking down the details right now of questions that we should be worrying about? Because see, here's the thing. If this live was just about how wrong Charlemagne the God was, okay? If this live was just worrying about how wrong Charlemagne the God was, then that means the conversation that I'm saying we need to have with our children in regards to validating them at home, giving them affirmation at home, talking to them about situations, just like going to a party with older people or just children or other people in general, to watch your drink, to know that the people that are around you, you know what I'm saying, make sure you got somebody that we call it DDs, designated drivers, but make sure you have a designated friend with you. If you can't, listen, if you can't understand what I'm saying, I get it. I get it. But I'm approaching this situation with common sense, with a balanced conversation, because it's one thing to let Jessica Reed's mom and Jessica Reed's brother talk. But I'm going to ask, what was the conversations prior to the situation happening? What were the things that you were telling your daughter in regards to making sure that she does not put herself in any predicaments, in any situation? What are some of the conversations you was having with her? I would love to know that, because I want to know, in this young person's mind, what were they thinking? What was going through to make her feel so comfortable? Because no one said, not even Jessica, no one said immediately as soon as she walked in, they drugged her. No one said that. So my thought process is, when your child walks through a door, right, and she sees nothing but adults, your 15-year-old, your 13-year-old, your 12-year-old, she sees nothing but adults. They laughing, drinking, smoking, whatever the case may be. If that is not a sign to exit stage left, then I guess we gonna have more Jessica Reeds, because what I'm saying is not important. It's irrelevant. Who cares if she was talked about in regards to saying, watch yourself, baby girl, that you're important, baby girl? Who cares about having that conversation? That's not important. The only thing we want to do is sit on here and condemn Charlemagne the God. Well, bruh, that ain't gonna do shit. You want me to hurt your feelings? Let me hurt your feelings. That ain't gonna do shit. Unless you saying sign blase blah. The petition's already been started. Go sign it. Did y'all get that information yesterday? Did y'all get that information yesterday? It would be a different type of interview with me. Let's do something about it. We can make all the commentary that we want, but this conversation ain't about Charlemagne. It's about what was really going on with Jessica Reed and how was she protected before, during, and after. We scared to have the conversation right here, so of course you're scared, because see, here's the thing. Let me tell you what people do. What people do is they try to punk you out the conversation. They don't want you to focus on the realities of things that they could be doing wrong. When I talk about, it's a lot of parents out there that go out every weekend, both mom and dad, okay? Whoever the single parent is at the household, we're not singling nobody out, but they go out every weekend and they leave their children to run them up. They're single parent households, so now they're working all the time, so they leave their kids to run them up. You coming in the house, catching your daughter twerking, you're catching your son smoking weed, you're catching your daughter drinking, you're catching your son drinking, and oh Lord, I don't know what to do with these kids. They're growing up so fast. That's the excuse that we hear. Then the next thing you know, they're having sex and they're having kids, and now you have kids raising kids. How you don't understand what I'm saying? So my thought process is, how many times have you seen young children, or let me boost it up a little bit, young teenagers in adult faces? The R. Kelly and Charlemagne the God, that situation ain't just start. That's happening all the time. It's happening right now. It's happening right now. The issue is that for those people that have moved from those type of communities or don't have access to seeing that firsthand, but that happens all the time. They just got caught up in it. It's a lot of men that say, oh yeah, they can come through. Them shorties can come through. They seen them at the mall or whatever the case may be, and got a number and say, oh yeah, we about to have a house party. Won't y'all come through? And a bunch of young girls come through. That happens all the time. So if you're not having a conversation, telling your young girl, baby girl, you don't want them problems. You don't want those problems. So you got to have a conversation. You got to worry about the details. You can't just focus on Charlamagne the God, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Had the right lawyer been gotten for Jessica Reed when she was 15 years old and first traumatized, the conversation today would be different. The conversation would be different. It is easy to say I empathize with you to the point, or I sympathize with you to the point that I am blinded, that I am not going to ask you or hold you responsible for anything. It's easy to do that. Easy. Because you have love, you have compassion. That's what we as humans do. You know, I don't want to put you through any more drama, any more hardship. Come here, let me hug you, let me hold you. You can cry on my shoulder. I'm here to support you. But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, like, how could this have been prevented? We know that those grown men were wrong. They shouldn't have drugged her. They shouldn't have raped her. She shouldn't have been there. We got it. That's a clear-cut conversation. That's a 3-minute conversation. Okay, boom, let's get their ass up out of here. Let's get this petition. Kwame, I need you to get your NBA friends to go online or to tweet, whatever they need to do. I need this petition signed. I need 500,000 people to sign this. Or every day we need to be calling the Breakfast Club, telling them we want his ass fired. Or we're not going to give you no views. Action. Action. So when I say there is a lot of things that have been put into play that have failed Jessica Reed, that's what the fuck I mean. But we're so busy saying, no, we just want to focus on Charlamagne the God. Okay. Where's the petition? Drop it in the link. Drop it in the link. I'll sign it. How many people say I've called that radio station 100 times? I've called the network to get them fired 100 times. Because this thing aired over 10 hours ago. Where's the traction? Where's the traction at? Somebody says that would make me move. Jessica Reed and her mom are a part of the Get Along, the Go Along, Get Along gang. Somebody says, I got it 100%. I appreciate you for getting it. Again, I don't expect everyone to agree with what I'm saying, but you can't say you don't understand what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? You can't say, I don't understand. Like that's crazy. If you don't understand it, then what are you doing to protect the people around you? Because if you're not having a tough conversation with your child, and again, the tough conversation is just being patient and providing a conversation, sending and receiving. I don't know what type of woman Jessica Reed's mom is. I have no idea. I don't know if she was club hopping. I don't know if she had a lot of men around. I have no idea. None. The only thing that I know is that a 15-year-old walked into a situation and for some reason didn't say, this ain't for me. And I got every right to assume that for some reason, she possibly did not have the confirmation she needed at home to say, I don't need to be here. I don't, this ain't my cup of tea. I ain't grown enough for this situation. But for me to think that, then that means, oh, you don't support Jessica. You don't have empathy for her mother. Like, that's retarded. I'm a man with daughters. You think what parent wants to hear that their child was taken advantage of? What person, what human being thinks that is okay? Let's develop where we are with this conversation, right? So maybe we can all get on the same sheet of music. What person wants to hear that a child has been taken advantage of? Okay, there's nobody saying me. There's nobody in the chat room right now, okay, that's saying me. Nobody. So nobody wants to hear that a child has been taken advantage of. Right? Okay, cool. So we're at the same place right now. Cool. Everyone in the chat room believes that if you take advantage of a child, that you should be dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. Minimum. Now, I know some other people might think some other things, but we're going to say the minimum is that you should be dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. Is there anybody that disagree with that? Is there anybody that disagree? I am totally wrong with what I'm saying right now. Okay, so I just made two factual statements, so that way we can be on the same wavelength. Let's see if we can continue this. Okay? Is there anyone that believes that we should not talk to our children about situations just like the one that Jessica Reed was in to prevent them from being in situations like that? Don't worry, I'll wait. I got time. Bueller. Somebody said, of course. I know it seems simplistic. I know it seems redundant. I know it seems kind of childish and minute. But the three things that I just said, people were saying I was wrong yesterday. We don't need to know how Jessica thought. We don't need to know what type of conversation Charlamagne is wrong. And I'm like, okay, we agree on that. What you're dismantling and disrupting the conversation to promote something that no one's talking about. Well, you dragging her mama. And I'm like, who's dragging her mom? I'm saying, for me, if you got money to uproot and leave the state, then you should have money to get the best, finest lawyers, because the fact of the matter is they should be telling you, baby girl, Charlamagne ain't take all the tests. Charlamagne ain't take all the tests. This ain't got nothing to do with Jessica. This got something to do with Charlamagne. I thought the conversation was about how guilty he is, right? So why not get a lawyer that cares enough to say, Charlamagne, you have to take all the tests because we want to prosecute you to the highest extent of the law. I got money to move, but not to get a lawyer that cares enough to tell me everything I need to know to get justice for my daughter. But because I say that, that means that I'm holding the mom responsible. You goddamn right I'm holding her responsible. I'm holding every adult responsible. I'm holding everybody that had access to Jessica Reed and her mindset to support her. Even the mom said, hey, look, I didn't want her to testify. She was already traumatized. I didn't want to put her in further harm's way. So, what hurts your daughter worse? Knowing that there is someone out there that has done something to her and she never got justice for it, or putting her on the stand for 1 or 2 days to tell her side of the story. What hurts your daughter worse? We got to have this conversation. We have to have this conversation because there is going to be, unfortunately, and I'm going to knock on wood. Unfortunately, there are going to be people out there that's going to have to make that same decision. Do I push forward or do I push away? How about the law? You're holding them responsible. Okay, I guess I missed that. Okay, ask Charlamagne, did he pay them off? Wrong. You don't know if she moved out of the state with family members or what. Can't assume, bruh. Okay, Walter. I know that restarting your life, no matter where you move or no matter who you move with, requires money, requires support. That same money and support that is being used to support you out of state or in a new state could be the same money that you use to get another or a better lawyer. Let's talk about it. I'm good at this, bruh. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. When you say you had a lawyer and you show documentations that's saying that this man never took the test needed to help the case, what was the lawyer doing? What was the lawyer doing? What was the lawyer doing? Hey, Walter, don't go nowhere. What was her lawyer doing? If now, all these years later, that you're showing documentation that this man has never took the test in order to find him guilty, in order to get the information that you needed to make sure that your daughter gets justice for being gang raped. What was her lawyer doing? It was more important to say, let me get my shit. You're saying you don't know if she went with other family members. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Hell, you could have relocated and still said, hey, we want him to take those tests. We want him to take those tests. You see how we don't. It's not important for us to know certain details, or it's not important for us to look at the entire picture. I'm waiting for one easy for you to say, unless it happens to you, you don't know the mom's education level, experience, or nothing. Okay, Walter. Walter is a distraction, and I'm gonna tell you why is it a distraction. Now, one time, has anyone asked me, was I ever sexually assaulted or abused, or have I ever worked closely with anybody in that situation, even though I've given you some history? And you might have came in late. You might have came in late, because I did give some background information on myself and on my siblings and on my mom and on the fact that I helped people inside the military that went through stuff just like this and worse and worse. So my thought process is, I thought that when you talk to the people with the facts, that gives you the facts. That's what I thought. I thought by listening to Jessica Reed, listening to Charlamagne the God, listening to Jessica Reed's mom and brother, I thought that's how you get facts. Am I wrong? What else do I need? What else do I need to see? If I'm not getting it from the horse's mouth, who else do I need to talk to? Do I need to call Kwame? Do I need to call who do I need to call to get the facts if I'm listening to the people that were in the situation? The truth has no feelings. Exactly. But it's sad, because these are going to be the people. Let's see what Walter says. She was in a poor just corner to the public defenders. Don't care. Walter, you're proving my point, Walter. Ladies and gentlemen, forget me right now. Go to Walter Robertson's comment, and I want you to hear what he says, right? She was in a God, this thing keep going out. She was in a poor modest corner to where public defenders don't care about black people. You don't know her education level. Didn't I just say, if she had the support to move out the state, the money to move out the state, whatever money was used, could she have used that money to get a better lawyer? Walter just proved my point. If she had a public defender, of course the public defender is not going to say Charlamagne ain't take these tests. If you had the money for someone better, they could have said, oh no, he going to take them tests. You're not going to get away with this, player. You just proved my point. It's about details. It's about details and the support. And my question was, why did she decide to move away? And where did she get the money from? And you're saying, and what you said, which I thought was credible, well, you don't know if she moved with her family members. Okay. But again, that there's still money in that as well. And what I said earlier was the fact that a lot of people don't have monies, retainer fees for lawyers, and they get railroaded in the court system. And this was just another situation, whether you was the victimizer or the victim, where someone didn't get justice. Again, before, during, and after, there were a lot of failures. And if we don't discuss those failures, then the only thing we're going to be focusing on is Charlemagne the God. And then one of our sons or daughters are going to go through the same situation. And we're going to say, well, I'm just going to handle it like I seen on Kwame's show. We're just going to move out the state. We're going to let the public defender do what the public defender do. Nope. You know what somebody thinking right now? I need to save me some money up. I need to probably put some of this stimulus check away. While I'm worrying about the AMC stocks and all that good stuff or whatever, maybe I need to invest in that and then take that money that I get from that income and put it on the side just in case I need a lawyer. Because I ain't about to have these type of problems. "43 Coco 1 says the system is corrupt. It is designed so that so you can't get a good lawyer because they are again, do you have the money for a good lawyer? Do you have the money right now? If everybody was forced to show their bank account right now, right? To prove that you had $5,000 for a retainer fee, maybe more depending on where you live at. How many people could prove that in the chat? You needed a lawyer right now, not tomorrow, right? Not pick up the phone and call eight family members. You got the money right now. You got access to the money. Not in your 401k, if you know what I mean, okay? Not over there. Not go get the money back from somebody you let borrow and they owe you money. No. Oh, I'm calling in a favor. No, you got the money. Just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, have the conversations with your children. Have the conversations with your children. So that way, if they find themselves in predicaments that look wrong, that look bad, tell them to remove themselves. I'm just saying, tell them to remove themselves. L. Nixon, I see you. If you don't get nothing else from my little commentary, empower your children with common sense. That's the best weapon they can have. Empower them with common sense. That don't look right. I ain't doing that. Nah, I'm good. I'm good on that. You know, my mom, my dad, my big brother, my big sister, my aunt, my uncle, my grandma, my mama, you know, my granddaddy, my papa, they taught me better than that. I don't really need to do that. You know, I'm cool. The issue is that our support systems are so flawed that we feel like anybody that does not say we're only worrying about the person who did the crime. And a lot of times before the crime even started, there was a lot of bullshit happening before we even got to the crime. Because here's the thing, if you're 15 years old and you'll go to a party with this man when there's a bunch of adults, what stops another 15-year-old from thinking the same thing you think and going to another damn party? So if we only focus on Charlemagne the God, we never get to talk to the other 15-year-olds that are possibly on their way to a party right now. Hold on, wait. That ain't what you want. There's consequences when you do adult shit. And if you're not brave enough to have the tough conversation, because the only way to look at this is, well, let's look at it like this. We're not going to blame Jessica. We're not going to blame her mom. We're going to place the full 100% blame and responsibility on Charlemagne the God. And we're never going to have the conversation about, have you ever talked to your child about assessing dangerous situations? That's what this is about. Somebody says, so the mom was an unfit mom. I'm not saying she was an unfit mom. I don't know what type of mom she was. I don't know what type of environment she was in. I know that a young lady, a young girl went to a party and there's an assessment that needs to be made. An assessment, a threat level, a danger level, a common sense level. My question to you guys and also to the parent, right? Has Jessica ever had that type of conversation? Has Jessica ever been sat down and says, there's some things I want to share to you about life? It says he was an adult. He should get the full blame. She was drugged, dude. What is her being? Hold on. I want you guys to look at the last two comments. What does being an adult and giving him full blame and she was being drugged have to do with her being in her right mind when she first walked through the door? You see what you see what happens? I want to show y'all what happens. We need to get to the end result to make the beginning result sound good and credible. She was drugged. Jessica did not say herself, as soon as I walked in there, they drugged me. She did not say that. She did not say that. I just played it. The mom didn't say that. So that means that there's some room there to say, let me use what my mama taught me. Let me use what my daddy's been preaching. I want to know, has she ever been sat down and says, let me teach you about life. Let me teach you about the knucklehead people that's out there that will take advantage of a young lady like you. That's the conversation. Not if Charlemagne was wrong. We've already said that he was wrong. We placed the full blame on him for what he did and allowed to happen. Conversation over. Now back to Jessica. Back to the person that is the victim. Was she really getting supported during, before, and after? Was she really being supported? See, the thing about it is when you start ironing out the situation, the wrinkles start to spread out. The wrinkles started to spread out. Now, we did a good job of saying, hey, Charlemagne, you blah, 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 you son of a, oh, if I see you in the street, we gonna, and the wrinkles started to iron out. But it's still wrinkles in the sheet. It's still areas we need to address. And the way we're going about this as if the mom is Mother Teresa. The people around Jessica before it happened were saints. I want to know if she was being failed before that. So you're telling me that we don't know young women out there that are impressionable. Boy, that man ain't God. Boy, that man ain't. I got to get you out of here for that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was stupid. Why we berate the mom, bruh. Holding people responsible and accountable is not berating them. Unless I said you are an unfit parent, I called the mom a bunch of names, disrespected her, called her out her name. That's why I said we don't understand the difference between having a conversation because we're so used to seeing black men bash black women, Hold on, don't go nowhere now. Come here. Come here. We're so used to seeing the bashing of black men and black women that when you have a conversation, you only can ordain it one or two ways. You only can put it in one or two narratives because it can't be realistic. I want you to think about all of the people that we say that speak out with a conversation. We only can put that message one or two ways. A man that is a father of daughters, you're thinking that the only way to come out this conversation is to say that the mom's to blame. I'm saying that Jessica Reed was failed by a lot of people. She was failed by a lot of people. Even the people that's acting like they give up. You know what's so funny? I'm about to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm about to hurt somebody's feelings. A lot of y'all don't give two shits about Jessica Reed. That's why I put Michi X's face on the thing, right? Because she even said, you know what? All of these activists, what are you activating? Loved it. I loved it. What are you actually doing? Because a lot of people that would say, "Oh, you're doing this to the mom, and you're not holding him responsible." Where is that at? Where is that at? You're promoting your own narrative, and the fact of the matter is, there is a lot of people that don't give a fuck about Jessica Reed. They don't care. They do not care. Which is the reason why her mother, all these years later, is still trying to grasp and get that wheel turning for justice. Because when you hear the message, instead of hearing the message, the first thing you want to do is condemn the messenger. You heard the message yesterday. What did you do about it? For those people that are so adamant in the comments, what did you do about it? What did you do about it? Charlemagne still got his job, y'all. Jamal says, I agree, but the point is to get the information out. Makes sense. Makes sense. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. I know that was a typo, Jamal. I got it. Jessica Reed was failed. Sound like we saying the same thing. Sound like we saying the same thing. The only person that helped truly was Star. I don't know what all Star, I guess you're talking about Star Report. I don't know what all he did. And maybe you're saying he just brung them on to tell their side of the story. But this is why I'm saying, y'all, if we just listen, right? We don't listen to hear. Yeah, okay, all right, whatever. We listen to comprehend and understand. But better yet, take action. Let me hit the like. Let me share. Let me get some people in this conversation, because these are the type of conversations we need to be hearing. I hold every grown-up around Jessica Reed responsible. I'm sorry. I hold every person around Jessica Reed responsible. She was 15 years old. I hold everybody. If your child get hurt, I'm going to be real with y'all right now, because I want to see how many real ones I got in the building right now. If your child gets hurt, okay, ladies and gentlemen, please hear me out on this. If you ain't listening to nothing else, just hear me out on this. If your child gets hurt, right, at daycare, high school, middle school, hell, college, right? And there are adults around. Let's not say college. Let's say high school. Matter of fact, let's just say middle school and elementary school. Right? Let's keep it in that realm. And your child gets seriously hurt, or they get seriously violated. Okay? Are you not going to hold the principals responsible, the teachers responsible? Are you not going to hold every adult around your child responsible that is within earshot or reach, arm's reach? Are you not going to hold them responsible? So me holding everybody responsible around Jessica Reed is wrong? Anybody that believes that the only culprit in this situation, I don't want to say culprit, the only adult responsible for this situation is Charlemagne the God, I'm telling you right now, you're missing the mark. You're missing the mark. You're missing the mark. You're missing the mark. Because just like you don't know what type of mom Jessica Reed mom was, I don't know what type of mom she was. The only people that know is Jessica Reed and her mother. And not one time in that interview or that breakdown did she say, my mom told me better. My mom showed me better. My parents did a great job at saying, watch yourself when you go to these parties. Don't get quiet now. I'm not trying to embarrass you. I just want to get this thing right here working. I want to get this thing working because we're going to save some people in the near future. We might save somebody presently. Somebody says, why did you put Kwame Brown's name in your title? Are you clout chasing? Okay, it's from my understanding that Kwame Brown allows people to use his commentary and his name to further the conversation. How many people feel like this conversation was furthered today? Oh my God. Kales, she shouldn't have attended the party in the first place. Fuck what I just said. For everything I just said. That's what I'm talking about. Common sense. She shouldn't have been there in the first place. And if she did go and the mom said, you know what? Hold on, wait. Hold on. The mom said, you know what? I trust you, Charlemagne. I'm going to trust you with my daughter and take my daughter. Your daughter is 15 years old. Have you ever seen a 15-year-old play a video game? Have you ever seen a 15-year-old play a video game? How strategic they are. Somebody says, stop Lakers for life. Says, stop blaming the victims. She says she didn't want to go, Rio says, or Rose says. I wonder why she says she didn't want to go. I wonder why she says she didn't want to go. Your daughter or your son comes to say, the brother said he didn't want her to go. Obviously, he had some sense. So that's two people that said, hey, nope, don't want you to go. I want y'all to think about this. I don't want you to go. What do they know that we don't know? What have they seen? What have they heard? I'm just saying. Makes you think. Makes you think. Ladies and gentlemen, talk to your children. Talk to your children. The people that you have around you that are your support system. Make sure that they are supporting what it is that you feel is important. The protection of your family, the protection of your peace and serenity, the standards and morals that you feel that are important. I hate that our children are undefended or not defended. And I hate the fact that when it comes to having a conversation that we jump on so many different sides that we never get to the point of action. And this is what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. What's the action being taken? What's the action being taken? It's great to be in an uproar. Don't blame the victim. Don't blame the mom. The only thing we give a shit is taking down Charlemagne the God. What have you done to take him down? What have you done to take them down? What have you done? I'm going to get in your comment section and I'm going to tell you, what you saying is wrong. And you're blaming the victim and the mom ain't, you should have more empathy and how dare you. But these are same people that haven't called to get Charlemagne the God fired, haven't started a petition, haven't done anything other than get in the comment section and say a bunch of nonsense. I'm going to distract you from what you're saying because I really don't give two shits about Jessica, but I want to be heard still. I want to troll still. Triple 788. Listen, it's more about listening to how you can condemn the message than support the message. We are here on Tough Love channel. We are in full support of Jessica Reed getting justice. Full support. But to understand what justice really is, we have to understand all the details and everybody that had a part to play in the situation. Period. And if you don't require details, if you don't require every single side of the story, you are delusional. And if it was your child would be sitting somewhere saying, damn, my parents failed me. Because when a situation ain't even at your doorstep, the situation is not even at your doorstep, you can't even have a conversation. You so busy saying, don't blame the victim. Don't blame. Well, no one's blaming the victim. I think the victim is actually the victim. Do I have empathy for the mother? Yes, I have empathy. But I'm telling you right now, conversations that empower your children allow them to promote a common sense factor that is rarely used in the United States of America. Because a lot of people base what they do on how much money they got, the status they got, but the level of common sense will take you further. You Strive says, yeah, not false, JC. Said I think it says sad. Our people are foolish people because we will not listen to reason. We love lies. You are very, very right about holding the parents accountable. Somebody, Kales, I think it was Kales, said Jessica Reed shouldn't have been there in the first place. Great point. Check. Holding the parents responsible. Check. Why don't you know where your kid's at? Pull up. I dare you pull up. Why don't you know where your kid's at? Then when something happens to your child, no one is supposed to say, why don't you know where your kid's at? And if we hold you responsible as the parent, oh, hell no, you ain't gonna hold her, because those are the same people that are irresponsible parents. Don't worry, I'll wait. I'll wait. There's a lot of shaming tactics people do. A lot of shaming tactics that people do. And the first thing that we do is say, let me shame you out of your point of view. Let me shame you from worrying about the details. Let me shame you for not saying, as an adult, I'm going to hold you responsible if my child is near you and you allow my child to get hurt. And not even my child, but a child. Can you imagine me sitting at a bus stop or something, seeing a child or a middle schooler or whatever running back and forth across the street? And me as an adult don't say nothing. I'm just like this, playing on my phone, doing a live. And I can clearly see that this child is running back and forth across the street and there's traffic. But I say nothing, I do nothing. So when the child gets motherfucking hit, the parents show up, whether the fucking mom, the dad, whatever. But see, here's the thing. Somebody told them that their child was down the street, playing in the street. But they never went to get the child. So then they pull up right? And then this whole scene gets blown up. And the first thing that y'all motherfuckers do is say, you should have said something. It's your fault. But the mom should have known what the fuck was going on. The dad should have known what the fuck was going on. It's everybody's fault. Every adult involved in the situation has a part to play in the situation. No, we just gonna blame you. We just gonna blame you. We just gonna focus on you. I ain't met a parent without flaw yet. I'm just saying, I ain't met a parent without flaw yet. Jessica Reed said she didn't want to go. The brother said he didn't want her to go. So what made you go? Who held a gun to your head and said, get in the motherfucking car right now? Soon as she walked into the party, drink this right now. That's not the case. That's not the case. That's not what Jessica said. She didn't say that. She's giving you the facts. And if we can't, so you're telling me this. If we listen to what the person that is the victim saying, we can't take that and analyze it for ourselves. So there was an opportunity for you to say, man, fuck this. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Come on, y'all know them teenagers be cursing. Yeah, I know that. Come on now. I'm getting up out of here. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want teenagers to listen to this shit. And, nah, bro, this ain't for me. I'm good. I'm straight. Fuck that. Nope. I'm all right. That's what I want. That's the purpose of this. That's that push. Somebody said, oh, it was peer pressure. Peer pressure made her stay. Possibly. Let's talk about it. Possibly. Hey, maybe she had a crush on Charlamagne and she didn't want to disappoint him. Possibly. Let's talk about it. There are so many angles. We probably could talk for another hour about how wrong Charlamagne the God and those other males that were there that were adults, how wrong they were. That's easy. Because we know it's a fucked up situation. We know they were wrong. And me, that I don't know about y'all, but to me, that's on some pedophile type shit. I don't know why grown men would want to party with little girls for. The fuck I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know how that's a turn on. Like, oh shit, little girls in middle school and shit. Well, what's 15? High school and shit. It's cool. Yeah, that's what's up. What the fuck is the conversation about? Nintendo? Sega Gen? I don't think it's Sega Genesis. I don't think it's so. But I'm just, what's the conversation about? What's the conversation about? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to be able to have the tough conversation. And again, the tough conversation is only us sitting down, being patient enough to listen to each other's point of view and provide feedback. That's it. That's it. That's what's tough about it. Hey, man, I was thinking about Sega Genesis, man. Y'all remember Sega. But we was talking about the 90s. This happened like in the 90s, right? So I was thinking about Sega Genesis and shit. But y'all know what I mean, man. I don't want to hold y'all. I know that y'all are getting ready. Mr. Boxing Move says, dude, she was fucking 15. They were, I don't know if that's breaking or breaking. That's not how you spell it, but okay. The law. We know that. We established that. I don't know where you came in on the conversation, but we established what they were doing. We established what they, you know what I'm saying? Go Lions, exactly. Parenting starts at home. I believe if you sit back, a lot of you guys are listening to respond. I don't like that. Whatever he said right there is wrong, but not just sitting back, just saying, let me listen. And that's what I had to do for the interview. Really look at it and say, okay, all right. It was about an hour long. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. This bothers me because there are people that are so used to turning the other cheek and looking the other way and allowing our teenagers and our children, period, to do things that we as parents would not want them to do. There was nobody at that party that said these young girls should not be here. There's nobody at that party that says these young girls should not be drinking. There's nobody at that party that said these young girls should not be involved in sexual activity. It's a lot of failure there. It's a lot of failure there. But the issue that I'm having with that is, as soon as you walk in, did people not allow you to leave? Did someone make you drink a drug drink? Now, of course, let's back up a little bit. We don't know that she doesn't know that it's drugged. We know that. We get that. My thought process is, I wish that she could have left. I wish that she decided not to go, because obviously there was some reservations before she got there. I'm just saying. I have a feeling that the mother knew Charlemagne had bad intentions. I don't know. I don't know what the mother knew. I just feel like, a lot of people, I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of people are ignorant, man. When it comes to how the law works, or when it comes to what justice really is and how to maneuver, I think that every parent does what they think is best for their child when a situation arises. And I'm gonna be honest with you, sometimes it's not best for the child. It's what's best for that parent. It's what's best for that parent. It's what's going to make that parent feel better. Just saying. Says, bro, you are right, but Charlemagne the dog needed to be fully out, but accountable. It's like kryptonite to black people. You know what? It's so funny is because holding each other accountable realistically is not a thing we do. It's just not a thing we do. It's just not a thing we do, man. It's not. It's just not a thing that we do. We take pride into overreacting and making the problem worse. We take pride in it. Take pride in it. People appreciate a good overreaction because they call it entertainment. We don't worry about the details. We don't know who started the fight. We just know, oh, every moment is, hey, every moment is like this high that we live. And then when we have to come down, when all the smoke clears and have to have a conversation, it is very difficult to have a straightforward conversation because we have something to prove really to nobody, but we have something to prove. Like now, I need to argue with everybody in the comments that don't agree with me because I would then have something to prove. No, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm just hoping that you listen to mine. I'm hoping that you listen to comprehend and say, you know what? I never thought about it like that. And now that you put it like that, wow. Or, hey, I don't agree with you, but I understand what you're saying. Somebody says, yeah, blame the victim, not the predator. I'm getting flamed on my channel for holding her mother accountable right now too. I don't think I'm getting flamed. I think that everything that I said is legitimate, is factual. I believe that I have the background in regards to dealing with people that have been sexually assaulted and further. Not only civilian wise, but also in the military. So I come from a place of understanding. I come from a place of empathy. I come from a place of knowledge, right? But I do understand that everybody they don't worry about details. They don't worry about details. They don't care that, and I'm just using this as an example, but they'll see teenage girls twerking, right? And there'll be a bunch of grown men. and they won't tell those teenage girls to stop twerking, that's inappropriate. They won't say anything. And then when something happens to said girls, now they're in an uproar, but didn't do anything beforehand to stop it. That's what I'm saying. What's the prevention method? Are we trying to prevent the next Jessica Reed? That's what I'm saying. And we prevent that by having good parents in place. I don't give a fuck if it was a single parent household or both parents was in there or vice versa. I'm saying, are we doing our best as adults to prevent the next child from being in this situation? Now go haywire in the comments. Now talk that shit. Yes, I am. Yeah, hell yes. Yes, I got my uncle, my nieces, my nephews. I'm talking to everybody I can. I'm about to get Charlamagne the God fired. I understand what you... Now go ham in the comments. I understand. Keisha, what's going on? Matt Rick says the proof is in the pudding. That no. We are not doing enough. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everybody's feedback. I appreciate everybody's time. I know everybody's going to be tuning into the Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul fight or whatever. It's going to be interesting because I think it represents a whole lot more than just, comic relief. I think it just means a whole lot more. But the fact of the matter is, this is a situation that should be talked about. This is a situation that we need to sit down and we need to monitor. But it's a situation we need to take action with. Take action. I was expecting her mother to say that we have started a petition. And if I missed that, let me know that we have started a petition to remove Charlamagne the God from the Breakfast Club and any other platform that he has anything to do with, especially with access of influence. I didn't hear that. I tell people when you have an opportunity to speak, do not miss the mark. Don't miss the mark. If it's about getting justice and taking action, then that conversation needs to be had and direction needs to be given. Don't just talk to be talking, talk with a purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Mario J. This is Tough Love. Until next time, I normally say adult up, but I'm going to say something that I think needs to be said right now. Stay safe. Peace.